Hello, everyone. My name is Terry Tweedale, and I'm from the Illinois Natural History Survey. I'm a GIS coordinator there, and Dan Thurston is from the State Geological Survey, and he's the IT administrator there. I just kind of want to go over, for those of you who aren't on the University of Illinois campus and don't know anything about the Prairie Research Institute, just kind of give you a little bit of background. So the Prairie Research Institute is made up of scientific surveys that serve the state of Illinois. And the Natural History Survey, the State Geological Survey, and the Water Survey are all over 100 years old. And for numerous years, we were under state statute under the Department of Natural Resources. And in 2008, we were actually transferred to the University of Illinois, even though we've been on the University of Illinois campus almost this entire time. The Illinois Sustainable Technology Center became a part in, I believe, in the 1980s. And then in 2010, once we were already part of the Prairie Research Institute, the Illinois State Archaeological Survey joined us, and their previous name was, their acronym was ITARP, and it's because their mission suited similar to us. So the mission of the scientific surveys is to preserve and sustain the state's natural resources. So we have tons and tons of data going back numerous years. Just highlighting some of the current research projects. What I'm highlighting, since I'm a GIS coordinator, are going to be more GIS-based, even though we have numerous other researchers who are doing various things. I guess all of the scientific surveys together have over about 1,000 people, so we're quite large, and we expand not only the state of Illinois, but we also do research and stuff in other countries and other states as well. So in terms of research projects, one of the large projects that has a lot of data is the Illinois Height Modernization Project, and that is currently a project that's trying to get statewide LiDAR coverage for the state of Illinois. And as also part of that project, they are also updating all the benchmarks, the datums and level lines for that, which haven't been done. A lot of them were destroyed, so this is going to give statewide coverage of monument markers in the state. Let's see, another project that Natural History Survey, State Archaeological Survey, and Water Survey are currently working on is a natural resource and cultural resource management plan for the forest preserves of Cook County in celebration of their 100th year, and that's to help identify restoration priorities for them. The State Water Survey is been working on the FEMA floodplain map modernization project, and that's the digital floodplain insurance rate maps that a lot of people use. And then ISTC deals a lot with biochar, biofuels, sustaining electronics, and various stuff like that. Some of the various data collections that we have use are the USGS topographic maps or the digital raster graphics. We have a lot of orthophotography that's either in TIFF format or SID format that encompasses numerous years, probably 10 to 20 years worth of orthophotography, as well as historical aerial photography. Then we've got tons of LiDAR data, which is very large, coming in as part of the Height Modernization Project, as well as the derivatives that are derived from that. Level lines and benchmarks from the Height Modernization Project. The Geological Survey has core samples, fossil samples, well locations, water and oil wells, which is proprietary data, and then the Water Survey's got the floodplain research or insurance maps. Natural History Survey and and Geological Survey created a couple land cover classification maps using Landsat and spot imagery, and we also have pre-settlement land cover data that we created from the early 1800s maps. So we scanned in the original black and white maps, georeferenced the maps, and then digitized a GIS coverage over those. So we have digital maps, paper maps, georeferenced images, lots of things. And then we also have, the Natural History Survey also contains lots of biological collections data, which is all in FileMaker Pro. And then the State Archaeological Survey has a lot of archaeological site locations.
These are some of the data types that we're currently using. We also have a lot of sensors like downhole loggers and stuff like that generate data. Radiocarbon dating is going on, and that's generating data. We have a number of labs. Some of them have old DOS machines sitting in them generating data, and they don't want to update the software, so we keep the DOS machine running offline. So I don't know how they're moving the data around, but that's all out there. Some of the tools we're currently using, Esri ArcMap, LP360, ArcHydro, ERDAS, Imagine, Mars, SPSS, and Plus, we also work with the state, and so whatever the state is using, we have to use software sometimes to transfer back and forth. Like they may be using WordPerfect, and they often are, or different county entities may be having open source software, and we have to use that kind of stuff. So we have a lot of different file formats around. Looking at the BrownDog and how that can help us, I was looking at batch processing. We have a lot of old file formats. If I could point that at a folder of that, and before I leave for the night, fire off a job and have it update those sorts of file formats into a newer file format, that would be great. Then I could archive the old file formats and put the newer stuff out there so people are using newer stuff. There may be some issues with QA/QC and make sure it converts well, but that would be good. Another one of the groups also talked about LiDAR point cloud conversion of DTMs and DSMs from the LAS files, and that's a really interesting spin on it. And one of the use cases I really see is probably once a year I have to go off on a data safari for some researcher that's trying to do a project on, say, XYZ watershed. And it was done 15 years ago by another researcher, and they're trying to find that original data. Well, that other researcher has long since retired. The data got handed off to their section head, and it's been moved from machine to machine over those 15 years. So the original software that produced it's long since gone. It's been moved in with a bunch of other people that have retired or got hired away by an oil company or got run over by a beer truck or something else, and they're gone. And then the section head moves, and the data gets handed off to another person, and that data is truly orphaned. So I end up going on a data safari, as I call it, trying to find this project data for a person that's doing a current project. And I got, my usual suspects I round up out on file systems looking for this stuff, but you'll get to the point where you may be looking right at the data, but you can't open the file. Or, the data tilling, which would really, we got millions of files out on our servers, it would really help do some narrowing down with some quick indexing. So those kinds of things would really help with the BrownDog. So. Thank you.